Okay, family. So tonight we're gonna go ahead. I know we were supposed to do a roller set, but we're gonna take a step back. I had quite a few appointments with quite a few people, including some people in here and some people outside of here too. And I just want to go over some of the issues that people are maybe having. And I'm gonna show you guys a hack tonight that's gonna like change your lives. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and just start. We did a video today. Today is week 3 of the Wash and Go Refresh. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys and I know you guys are like, well, okay, so we'll show you everything up to this point, and we'll show you this at the end. But we'll go ahead and show you guys how. I know that some people say, "Hey, my hair dries hard. It dries too hard." So we'll go ahead and show you guys how to alleviate that by rubbing the product and activating the oils so that it dries with a more moisturized and shiny feel instead of a gel-like feel. And that's how you can manipulate the oil. And you would probably do that if you want to use a product in place of products that you would use for like a hair mousse or like a hair styling cream or something of that nature. Okay, so without further ado, do we have any questions? Is everybody good? Any progress reports?
I have a progress report.
Who's that,
I,
Linda?
yes.
Okay, Linda, before we share, let's go ahead and get you did you want to come up or you tell
Not,
me, okay?
not, no, not, I can't show my face right now.
It's okay. You don't have to. You can go ahead and just talk. We hear
But I,
you.
but I just want to say, after many attempts, number one, I believe my water was hard, so I purchased a shower head with a filter in it.
Good.
The difference in night and day.
Really?
Yes, when I finish shampooing and conditioning my hair, and to actually take and detangle, it wasn't a lot to detangle because
Wow.
and and afterwards I put the vanilla pudding on my hair and I saw the waves coming in and I'm just like, I really did it this time the correct way. And I could see now the hardness of the hair when you just made the comment about putting it in your hand and just rubbing
Mhm.
it. Okay, I can understand that. But other than that, I think I got it. I finally got it.
Good. So you found out that your main issue was that you had hard water, right?
Correct. Yes.
And no matter what shampoo, no clarifying shampoo, no conditioner or whatever, because you're putting that on afterwards. And then what people don't realize too is when they have hard water and they say, "Hey, I'm just going to mist my hair or I'm just going to refresh it with a little bit of water," and they do that, sometimes it adds a little bit of that hardness back and takes some of that moisture out. So that's really really good. I am so glad, Linda.
And I wasn't using enough of the product. So, like you say, put it on like you putting on a perm.
Oh
I
yes.
just saturated, and I'm so proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too. And when you put it on, you just gotta put it on. Just think Jennifer Hudson, Dream Girls. Heavy, heavy. Okay, you gotta go in. Okay. You want to
Yes.
feel, yeah. So we're gonna show you guys a video today. Okay, let me go ahead and explain the what you'll experience when you try the product and when you put it on the regular way versus how I'm gonna show you today. So this is the side of the new formula. You see it's soft and everything. We just applied today. This is the original formula. You see it's soft and everything. I'm gonna show you guys how to stretch the hair when you do it so that I know a lot of people were having issues with the stretching of the curls. And if you know you're going to have the issue before the hair dries, you can prevent it before the hair dries instead of waiting until after the hair dries and then rolling under to stretch it out again. Okay. So that's what I'm going to show you guys today. So the main three issues that people were having scalp issues, and they weren't seeing results as fast as they wanted to, and that's fine. And about 90% of people who I spoke with, they were not like really applying the product directly to the spots that they were having the issues. Like you really want to like go in on those areas even more so than the rest of the hair. So you know, we kind of covered that in previous lessons, so we kind of touch on it a little bit tonight. And then the second issue was that some people were saying, hey, when I apply really, really heavy, my hair dries hard or there's like clumps or whatever, and that's totally fine. We're going to show you guys how to alleviate all of that tonight when you apply, so you don't have to worry about any of that either. When you rub the product together, it not only rubs out the gel hold at the end, but it activates the oils in there, so you get like more of a shine, and it goes on more like a cream than the gel. So you will see that tonight. And then the last thing was the shrinkage, and we go ahead and we touch on that tonight too. So if anybody's having any other issues, just let me know. I am here so that everybody can. So right now we're teeing up for 2026. 2026, we are going to focus on growth and retention. A lot of people see the growth, but they don't see the retention. Meaning, if you dye your hair or if you get braids and you see a lot of new growth up here, your hair is growing, but then when you take it down a week or two later, you're like, hey, I thought I had a lot more hair than this, and I'm not retaining hair. So we're going to show you today in our week 3 wash and go refresh. This is a 3-week old wash and go. How to do it so that you're not only doing it so that your hair looks good, but we're going to do it so that we retain the moisture and we retain the length, and then also that so we combat the shrinkage. Okay, so the hair was in slightly different states on both sides because we use 2 different formulas, so we kind of go into all that and we explain. So let me go ahead and share the video. So the first 5 minutes is no talking. So let me just make sure that you guys can see everything. Can you guys still see me? Yes? No? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, and you guys can. Okay, so let me just make sure you guys can hear. So I'll go ahead. So the first 5 minutes is just music. I was gonna go ahead and give you guys an intro, but I kind of already did. So you guys can relax. If you guys have any questions, you can just feel free to talk. This is an open discussion. I started talking like 5 minutes in, and it's like 35 minutes because I really want to go in and show you guys all of the details and not leave anything out. Because I know that when I was talking to people in like our one-on-ones, people were like, hey, I'm missing steps, or it went from this to this, and then mine didn't turn out like that. So I want to like show you guys everything, okay? So we can go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, just go ahead and start talking. We are all here. Hey, family, is week 3 of our wash and go. So I'll talk y'all through the first few minutes. So this side, um, on the left is the original side, and the side on the right is the new side, is the new formula side. And we haven't, Lisa hasn't done anything to her hair since last week. Uh, I think we just fluff the curls out, every day. We hadn't even done that this morning, so we want to show you guys how everything looks and the difference between the hair. The side with the original is just a little bit less defined. The curls are a little bit more puffy. You need to actually nurture that side a little bit more because like the hair kind of like drank the product, opposed to the side with the new formula, it formed the seal. So it nourishes the same, but instead of it like maybe running dry or rubbing off or anything, the seal is formed on there. So you're good. So now we're gonna go back. So I just misted the new side so that we can go ahead and rehydrate the formula that we have in there. This is the original side. We're not missing anything because there's no cast or anything. So we're just gonna go ahead and add more product on this side. There's no need to add any water. The other side had a cast on it still, so we're still good over there. Okay. So now we're going with the new formula. We're just going in, and I like to work with bigger sections in the beginning because it keeps the hair elongated. It makes the hair work well together more. So that's what we're doing right here. I kind of just went in, and then we're gonna actually go in and do the edges and everything in a minute. And then we actually were playing with the hair rollers for next week. We were looking at some rollers. I think we need some bigger rollers, so you will see all that right here too before the other Emery starts talking in like 2 minutes. Okay, and we were just combing this part out to make it smooth to see how it would look with the hair roller. You don't have to comb your hair every week or two to detangle or to refresh or anything. We'll show you how to do that on the rest of the head.
You said
Any
we
questions,
need
anybody? Go ahead and ask questions if you have them. We are definitely here to help.
you said we need to comb through every 2 weeks or we don't need to.
You do not. The only reason I was
Okay.
coming through this very small section was because we were going to start testing we're going to use that small section to test the hair roller. That's
The
all.
rollers. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And this was a perm rod. It was a little bit small, so we're gonna get some larger curls and do those next week. And just a hint too, guys, like when you do like your roller sets, you don't want to rub the product out. You want them to dry with that cast hold, and that way you can separate those curls and they'll last for like a week or two for your roller set, opposed to like a day or two. So I'll show you guys that next week, but I'm gonna show you guys everything in a lot more detail. Just seeing how to refresh that. If you're trying to go for growth, the way that we just went in each of those sections, that is really, really good. And you see that you can drop your hair, you can do whatever you want to. So let's go ahead and turn that part into a some nice curls. So right now your hair is falling, but you want I do just want to say too that Lisa's hair has already grown in like the last 2 weeks since we had this wash and go in. So you guys can like, and I'm showing you guys right now the like a really good technique to keep your hair elongated and to keep it nourished for growth, okay? Make sure that you form the curls that are going to last. I want them to be a little bit larger than this. And we're just not going to shingle in as much because we already put quite a few, quite a bit of product on here. I'm just going to go ahead and form those curls and shingle them. And then we're going to just let those curls fall. And so that our hair does not have a lot of shrinkage, you can form the curls a little bit longer than you want them to actually be, and you can separate them later if that's your thing. Or if you don't mind the shrinkage, if you like the nice fuller hairstyle, then you can just go ahead and make, and not really worry about the curl size. You can just go ahead and do your curls for your style, or however you want it to look. Yeah. And we're just keeping it smooth from the root to the tip. We're not adding a whole lot like we did the very first time, because now our curls have curl memory, opposed to coming from like a fresh wash. When you have to decide what style you're going to do, and everything has to, pretty much your hair is forming, to whatever style you guys decide, whether you're like slicking it down, or whether you're adding heat to it, or whether you're doing a roller set, twist out, or whatever. So we have the curl memory from our wash and go. So I just want to make sure that all these are smooth, and that's how you form the curls. So I'm gonna go ahead. Can you see everything good? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish these up. Before I do that, on this top section, we just really I'm gonna show you guys too. So if you have problem with shrinkage and you want to use less product, it's better to work with larger sections. And you can do this on wash day also if you want like the nice fuller hair on day one, or if you don't like to do like a very, very saturated wash and go, you can go ahead. You want to use a lot of product, but you want to work with larger sections. And when it dries, you're not gonna have you're gonna have maybe like how your hair will look, a couple days into the process, but it won't last as long because you won't have as much protection as you would if you added a lot. Like these curls will be here, for a while. Okay, but these might, these you have to maintain before these. Okay, so let me just go ahead and show you. We're just gonna go ahead and take some product on this part, and I do always want to start with the edge. I'm gonna put those edges where you want them to be and where they're supposed to be. And Lisa doesn't really have an edge issue. So we'll just, we don't want to have baby hair, but we're just going to go ahead and slick it down so it can be neat, so that when our hair falls down, there's nothing underneath it that's, going to be distracting or anything. So now we just go ahead and start. And I'm not going in as deep. Just like kind of rubbing it on it, and I'm just like gliding over the hair because you want to keep a little bit of that volume and definition. I mean, a little bit of that volume while getting the definition. So this is the other technique. So I was going to show you this, and this is like the cheat code. You can do this probably like twice a week and maintain this wash and go for months and have the definition still. Or do it once a week. We didn't do anything this last week. Got the fuller look. Okay, so you can just go ahead and add the product, and you see everything just comes back. And then now you can just go in, and then those curls will just fall. And that's just with the larger section. Is this easy, guys?
Yeah.
I think your hair has grown a little bit since we started doing this.
I still need practice with the
And
with
like
that,
the
but I'll
key
get
thing,
it
especially when
eventually.
you have natural hair, is we anticipate. Who said what? I'm sorry.
No, I said I still need practice with that. I'm not a wash and go expert, but I'll get it eventually. I had to
I
also
think I
take me
talk
some time.
about in this video too about like not putting tension on your hair when you're doing the wash and go. So, but yeah, yeah, but you'll get it mastered, I promise you. And your curls will drop just like this, Judith, I promise you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Judith. I've never mastered it.
Who's that, Martha?
Yeah.
Okay, we just gotta add more product. And then in the beginning too, if you gotta do this process 2 times a week, 3 times a week, it's only gonna train your hair, and eventually you have to do it one time a week, once every 2 weeks. But this is how you bring the curls back in the definition, so no worries at all. You learn everything right here. Whatever you guys have questions about, just let me know. If you guys are doing a video, I mean, if you guys are doing it at home and you want to send me a quick video, say, am I adding enough? Do that too, by all means, and I'll go ahead and guide. Or am I doing it right? I can go ahead and guide you guys, because or we can do a one-on-one. Okay, it's my goal to make sure everybody gets their best results, and I want everybody here swinging. Okay, if you have a wash and go, we want it swinging. If you treat your hair like that, your hair is going to be like that. So when I try to like do my hair or someone else's hair, if they have 4C hair, I try to approach it as if they have good hair and it has a couple of tangles. That way you're just gliding over the hair instead of like ripping through the hair or struggling with the hair. Just don't even anticipate the struggle, because like our heads kind of like we kind of add a little bit to the friction sometimes. So we're just going to want everything to be smooth. Everything should be elongated still from our wash and go. Nothing should be tangled because we did individual curls. And right now we're doing a slightly different pattern, but it's still individual curls, and we're going from the scalp down, so we shouldn't have any tangles or anything later. And we want the curls that you turn your head to the side, the curls will still be there, and that'll be cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this front part up. And I'm gonna add a little bit more where we need it. If you have a tangle, you want to add more product there. And you want to smooth it out as much as possible before you start to get in there and work with it. Let's just drop these down. You don't have to really do a lot because we did all the work on day one. Smooth. If you have any knots in here, if you have any product clumps, because you are dealing with product, just go ahead and shingle it through and make sure you have a nice even curl. That way you'll have a nice even dry. I know on day one we have to apply a lot and your hair is layered depending on what kind of style you have, but after like the first week you can pretty much make this wash and go. It gets it truly gets better and better with time. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this top section. And I like working with the larger sections because it keeps a lot of the tension off the hair that we would put on it when we do like the smaller sections. And it kind of encourages your hair to work together instead of you doing a small section and then you going section by section, and then it kind of just encourages everything to work together to be a lot better. Okay. And you always want to glide over the hair, and then don't I know when people get to the ends, they tend to like want to go in like tighter and put like leave the product on the ends, don't pull it off, don't treat that hair any differently than you would the other hair, and then you will see that hair flourish. So you want to just go ahead and work it through. And you guys see like this has gotten longer since we even started doing this. If you guys can see. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just go in now and make sure that the whole curl is smooth, and we just drop it. And we'll just glide and we just drop it. I know last week we did a much lighter refresh. This week we're going in again, so you're gonna get day one results. all over again. And we didn't have to, I know we were doing washing, so we combed it out, so we didn't have to really do much to the curl pattern was already there and everything. So we're just pretty much going in and going from the root to the tip. And then for the back part, we can just go ahead and work with the curl pattern that we already had. So if you guys want a different curl pattern, you guys can go ahead and just do this. Make the curls bigger or smaller. Or if you didn't mind the one that you had last time, you go ahead and you can just go ahead and work with what you have there already and just refresh those and save yourself a little bit of time. Okay, so you're gonna turn to the side and shake. So the curls are dry, all good there. And then if you have issues with shrinkage, you will go ahead and add a little bit more product. I think we're gonna be good this time around because our hair has been being trained for the last couple of weeks. So we don't have to go in as heavy as we would on day one. Okay, so now I'll just go ahead and show you guys the technique to rehydrate the back real quick. And this is the fast rehydrate that we did last week. So you pretty yeah, so you pretty much work in a large section. Because the curls are still in there, and just make sure we have the sides separated. There we go. Okay, so let's start at the bottom. I'm gonna split up. You always want to start with the perimeter so you can make sure that that part is nice of our hairstyle. And remember, we want to glide over it. So we're not putting like you're using hair grease, you put in like you're using like you're just filling it, you just want to glide over it so it can be nice and consistent. And if you're doing this once or twice a week, your jar will last like a month. So again, this is how you keep your hair healthy. Like the purpose of this is not to see how long you can make a jar last, or the purpose of this is not to go ahead and use a whole jar without any regard, in a week. It's just make sure that you give your hair the nourishment that it needs. And if your hair is shorter or longer, if your hair is a lot more dense, then you know what your hair typically requires in terms of product. Okay, so just go ahead and make sure that we keep those ends protected. A lot of times people say, well, my hair is not growing, but a lot of times the hair is growing, but they just don't retain the growth. So we want to protect those ends and make sure that we're not losing any hair there throughout the process. So if that is your issue, the ends are probably the first thing that you want to focus on when you're going into sections. That way it's nice and protected and you're handling it and it's, all good to go when you're doing the rest of the section. Going in on that scalp. And I always put like use big clumps. You're not going in, so you wanted to make sure that you put enough in there so that it covers the whole section and not just the perimeter that you're actually getting in there for the hair. Because remember, the goal is not just to make the style look good again. The goal is to keep the hair nourished and healthy because we want to go ahead and promote growth. That's definitely what this product does. And the product does about 75% of it, 80% of it, and then the rest of it is the technique. So we make sure that we are applying enough, applying it correctly, and then we'll go ahead and we'll see the results.
Any
And a lot of
questions,
times,
guys?
a good part of it is setting the expectations as to
I don't have any.
no, okay, good. How it's going to be when it dries. If your hair takes a long time to dry, with like if you use a conditioner and your hair takes a long time to dry, because it's dense, then you can expect your hair sometimes to take up to 2 to 3 days to dry, depending on the style that you're doing. If you're going to wash it over on the first day, you're adding a lot of product, so it just depends on your hair. And then with the accelerated, even with our accelerated formula, it dries, with a cast, and that is to protect it and actually form the curl. So that cast is going to be on there for maybe like 2 days, 2 or 3 days. That's going to give you your that's going to sit like when you do your seal is to get the cast with the accelerated formula. And that's what's going to give you those curls for weeks. And that's these curls that are in right here still, and we haven't really done anything to them since day one. But I'm going to do a light refresh today. You just turn back around on this one. The side I was working on. Yep. Thank you. Okay, so now we're in the section. And then now we're gonna go ahead and drop the curls. Just go in and so the goal is just smooth everything down. I see add a little friction right here on your curls. And if you go to get growth, you want to just make sure that just keep everything smooth and keep your ends protected, and you will see the growth because you won't have any breakage or a lot less breakage, depending on like your hairstyle and how you sleep and your night routine, so on and so forth.
Emery, is that what you call shingling?
Yes, and I think we
Okay, okay.
had a little tangle back here, so I'm just going ahead and detangling it. So just want to show you guys that too. You don't want to like rip through your hair, put a little bit more product on it, slide that tangle out so that you can keep that hair, okay?
Okay.
And this is shingling. It was just a little tangle. I think if it started to dry correctly, because it dry underneath, most of the time. Okay. So just moving everything through, and we're good to go there. Okay, so now we just go ahead, and the curls are already here. We're not gonna really change the pattern or anything, so we're just gonna go ahead and hydrate, rehydrate them, and let them fall. So we'll start on a section that we already added a lot of product, and just let those curls fall, because those are the ones that are ready. And then as we go in, we'll just add where we need to. This is the beauty of working with the larger section because you can just like really go in and it just does a lot of the work. Like it just cuts down the time. But you guys see when you add enough product into like the big section, and then when the curls fall, the curls are already formed. So we're not like adding more or trying to like form them when they fall down. They're falling down into the curls. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. You can just nod.
Yeah, it does.
Tangle or hump in it. So I just when it says put some product on it and slid it down, then I just broke the curls apart until I isolated the part that had the hump, then just smoothed it out, and we were good to go. Then I just put the curl back together so I can maintain the heaviness of it. And I'm not putting a lot of product in here today so we can change the color and everything. I just want to make sure that the hair is hydrated and nourished throughout from the scalp to the tip. And that's how you're going to have hair that is trained, so that when you wash your hair next time, these curls are going to, be a lot more likely to just pop back in a lot more quickly. And as time goes by, if you, wear any style, your hair's going to format to that. So keep that in mind too when you put heat in your hair, because it'd be a little bit more difficult for your curls to come back the longer you wear that style if you don't do everything correctly. Okay. Okay, so we're going to just finish this side up, and then let me just go ahead and finish up really quickly. I was going to camera, but okay. So the curls are already in here, so we'll go ahead and spill a bit more product on the ends and finish off this larger section and let those drop. And we'll be good to go. If you had any scalp issues, this is the time you want to address them. So if you, let's just say if you had like a thinning area right here, this is the time you want to go ahead and part that area, and you want to go ahead and put the formula in that area. You go ahead and do your scalp treatments if you want to. If you put the formula under and keep that scalp moisturized and sealed, you're going to see a lot more action than if you just like leave it with nothing on it, or so you want to keep it, keep it moisturized. Like this is the remedy, so you want to make sure that you add enough to those sections that you need to. And then these girls are already in. We add a little bit more to the roots down here. And we're just going to separate those now. And so to the tip, and then again, make sure that our curls are going last. So we just want to remind you guys, this is very, very thick, coarse 4C hair. So I know that you guys like, hey, I got 4C hair. I don't have like this is what Lisa's working with too, okay? So you see how we're getting through everything easily. You know, like it's really hard to like usually get through 4C hair, especially when we're trying to detangle and stuff. We only had a very few tangles because we had did everything right on wash day. Okay, so this is 4C hair, guys. Like this is the traditionally hard to manage hair that we're just gliding right through, and we have curls in 4Z. 4Z. It's like right in that section. Probably gotta go to sides. They take care of those ends. That's how we retain them. So a lot of people they just go to the curl, then they just drop midway, go all the way to the tip to the end. Make sure you keep it saturated, and then you let it fall heavy with the end. And I know we've only done one side of the head, but we have not used that much of the product at all with this wash and go because we only been like we didn't do anything like the first 2 weeks after the first day. I'm going a little bit heavier right here. I don't think I really need to. So I'll just go ahead and make sure that we get it smooth and let those curls dry. If you are concerned about shrinkage, right here is where you will want to go ahead. We can just do a little bit, and we're not gonna do it on the under part, so we don't have to really pin it up because it's not gonna be soaking up into the skin. Instead of staying on the hair or coming off on the pose. So we'll just go ahead and just add, a little bit of the product, keep those ends nice and healthy and heavy. And you can feel if you have like the hairs that are like straggled and everything. This is where you can smooth those down. A really important part of this is when you seal your ends, guys. A really important part is you want all the hair going the same way, okay? If it's going down, you want all the hair on the shaft going down. That's how you keep it from snagging and breaking, okay? And this is going to be like a really, really good, I guess like a treatment for your ends if you do this part, especially if you have breakage. But this is in addition to us already putting the product in the style. Now we just want to make sure that everything's going the same way and smooth. This is going to like lessen your chances of getting anything snag and having that breakage too. And now just let it fall. And when it dries, it's going to be nice, elongated, and protected. I'll go ahead and do the back too. We're putting as much as we would on day one. And then you can separate those curls after they dry. The goal is to keep them together so that they're not right together, but you don't want to have to separate and do your work. I guess if you want to, you can go ahead and do your style right now. That'd be totally fine. But if you want to keep the elongation, you can go ahead and just leave them together, and then they'll let dry, and then you can just go ahead and take them apart, and then they'll still have the weight and the length as they will if it had dry either in a much bigger section, or you can just go ahead and separate everything right now. Turn to the side, please. Turn your hair like this, the shape. Okay, so you can just go ahead and see the curls and everything. So everything is separated, and that's how you separate the ends too. If you want to, if you have, if you don't want to let them dry together. Okay, so we are all good to go with the original formula, and this is how you like maintain your length, keep your wash and go for weeks, if not months, and have it looking, brand new. Okay. So now we're gonna go to the other side. This one we have to use a lot. We have to do a lot less maintenance. So let me wipe my hands so we don't mix the formula, even though it's pretty much the same. Okay, we got any questions about the original formula? Anybody? We understand? We good?
We're good.
We
Okay.
good.
Yes, we're good.
Perfect. Ingredients mostly. Okay, so we'll go ahead and so if you want to go ahead and get like more elongation here, the curls are in. You can see they're still in from the root. You can do pretty much anything. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more of the product here. We went ahead and we spritz it to just a light mist rather. We misted it just to go ahead and rehydrate everything. And here's our product. And if you want to keep the hair on the softer side and you don't want it to dry with as hard of a cast, you can just go ahead and you can rub some of that out. The longer you rub, the more you are warming it up, and you're getting, all those oils and everything
I'm
activated, and that's
sorry,
going
what
to
are you
go into
doing?
rubbing out, the hold also. Uh, you can't hear?
I said, what are you
No,
doing here?
I'm just playing. Um, we are rubbing the hold out so that you can so when your hair dries it'll be softer. So if you want to keep the hold, just go ahead and apply it like you would a gel. If you have like too much hold and you want it with a softer, more shinier finish like the original side, then you will go ahead and rub out the hold before you apply it to your hair. And that's what
I
I'm
never
doing
knew
right here.
that.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why I'm showing you guys. That's why I'm showing you guys the technique tonight. I know some people say that their hair was drying harder than they would want to, so I'm showing you guys how to
Mm,
get the nice soft finish.
okay.
Okay. Going to be more of a cream, if that makes sense. So if you want to go ahead and get them, and you see, it was more of a gel before. Now it's like a cream on my hands. These curls without having to go into the hole, then
Yes.
you can go ahead and do that, and it just makes it more of a cream. So we're just doing it in larger sections so that we're not pulling any individual curl and it's bringing back. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Now this technique takes a little bit longer because you can't add too much to your hands at one time or it's gonna not cream up. So I'm just gonna add about that much.
A little bit becomes a lot. It really
See
spreads out.
there? See there?
Yeah.
Use this fall. See, we just put 2 dabs and did a whole section. Then we added a little more of those. The bottom, we can keep everything with the middle. This side, you don't have to do nearly as much. The curls are still like pretty much in. We just want to elongate them and give them a little bit more life and more of a refreshed look. Hey guys, we're back. We'll be you stop the camera for a second. Okay, so it was for something else. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just I'm still working with this section. I'm rubbing it, add a little bit more. Okay. Now we could have stopped before. I just wanted to add a little more product to make this section match the other section, the other side. And go ahead and just form those curls and let them drop. And again, you really want to save those ends too. And you can even leave those, like if you want to keep like the length, you can even twirl those together and leave them until you get done with the rest of the sections and kind of train them to be elongated. We'll go ahead and do that right now. And then we can just go ahead and go up to this section. And we are just refreshing what's already here. These curls look good. If you want to keep these in like this, if you want a nice fuller look, if we're just doing this to go ahead and make it more so match this side and have a nice refresh shiny look, without having to do the hold again. If you didn't want to, and we can just, we're showing you how to rub out the hold if you want to go ahead and do that. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do that again. Just take a blob, put it in your hand, and rub it out. The longer you rub it, the more it'll turn into like a cream instead of like a gel, or well, it turns more like more like a paste and rub all the moisture out, and then you'll have a lot less of the hole when it dries. So I'm not gonna go in too deep. So I'm gonna go on the perimeter and make sure the clothes are nice and moisturized. That hair's nice and moisturized, including the ends. And I'm rubbing out each time, so let me just make sure that, because I don't want to have a lot of the hold that you have. If you don't, some people are like, oh, my hair dries, it really has a hard hold. My hair dries hard. Yeah, that's from your cast. You can rub that out. If you don't want as much hold, you can rub it pretty much to, no hold if you want to. Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna go in and we are going to just let those curls fall. I'm just gliding down them. So you think you can do any hairstyle with both of the formulas. The technique is slightly different. Depending on the outcome. But yeah, these curls are all good. A little bit more on this one, but I'm going to do it with this section up here. Oh, I just be this. I'm gonna go ahead and handle it product. Okay, we'll turn this way and I'll finish up our last section. Okay. So see all the curls can still separate. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some product and I'm gonna rub it out. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the edges. And I'm gonna start on the perimeter. And I'm gonna start with the big section. I think actually I want the whole around the edges. I'm gonna put this on the hair, then I'm gonna go back in and put. And this is like if you want to use a hairstyle that you would use, if you want to do a hairstyle that you would use a mousse for, or like a nice thick cream, and you don't want the whole, then you'll go ahead and use this technique. And this will give you like nice, bouncier, elongated curls instead of actually forming the cast that would keep them for days and days. Okay, so I'm gonna take some right out and apply, oh, sorry. I'm gonna apply that right to the edges. I'm gonna keep those nice. I'm gonna do that once and have it there for days. So I'm just gonna go ahead and not rub that part out. Okay, so nothing crazy, just putting the hair where it's supposed to go. Make sure that everything is smooth and then you're good to go there. And you're rubbing it right to the scalp. So your scalp is nice and there, so everything is good to go. You don't have to do any fancy baby hair. You just want your curls to fly up, or you want to do a ponytail or something, and then right here is just like not together. Okay, so we're gonna put this large section. Gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna rub it because we don't want to form a cast again. And if your hair requires a lot of product, you still have to add a lot. You just want to rub it out each time, and you can layer it on, depending on how defined you want your curls to be. I want to really focus on her ears. I just want to make sure that we get this section nice and saturated because the goal is, well, on the other side, we are, rehydrating it and we doing it for nourishment of the entire hair, not just for the hairstyle. Some of them the same over here, so we can have equal growth. Okay. Then moving the top, and then we're gonna go ahead and separate and we'll be all done. Separate and we'll go from the root to the end and glide. And you don't have to like go in and like take all the product off and like pinch it. Just move from the glide and so the curls can fall. And then they can be individual. And so, And just pointing knees downward. You want to keep the elongation. And don't tension too tight because you don't want to like, spring back and have a shrinkage. Just let it fall. Now, what I noticed that I did on this side that I did not do on the other side was on the underside, I went up. You want to go down so you keep the perimeter looking full. Does that make sense? When I slicked it, I slicked it up on the sides. You want to pull everything down so that around here it can look more full. I went up. That's why it looks a little, Does that make sense, guys, or no?
Yeah, I
Yes,
just
it
want to
does. It makes
comprehend that.
sense.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good, good. Okay, yep. So just want to bring everything down around the perimeter instead of going up like I slicked it up. Okay. So I can just fast forward this a little bit. Um, we pretty much just okay. Let me just finish it up. And I'm just pointing knees downward. Oh, just want to keep the elongation. This section, so it's a little bit down. Okay. The roots, you can just go ahead on the very top and just keep a little bit of volume right there. And then when it dries, you can just put them to the side and then put them down. And then you'll have the volume instead of having the pit, and you'll still have each of your individual curls. Okay, and you turn back this way. Oh, well, it's fine. It's fine. So loop you all the way around. We are almost done. Hang on, let me just make sure. This loop you loop still. That's just okay, right. All right, then let me make sure that this part is smooth right here. Just gonna put these down actually. Okay, we're just doing little bit tweaks. Okay, guys, so this is pretty much it for both sides. So any questions as to how we refresh for with each of the formulas? And then I'm going to show you guys what we did at the very end to keep the elongation. Okay, so this is our new side. So what we did at the very end of the video was we just put like a very loose braid at the end to keep everything stretched and to let it dry together as one heavy unit instead of every individual curl because they would go ahead and shrink. Now, if you have your individual curls and they're small, if you don't want them to shrink, group them with a larger group of hair. United we stand, divided we fall, just like anything else. And you guys see how that is. Let that down. I don't know if you guys can see that here. I'm taking these two down, and it retained all the length. And this is pretty much fully dry here. And you can just go ahead and separate those curls and let them fall. And everything looks really good. Can you go ahead and shake? You guys, can you guys see?
Yeah,
Yes.
we saw.
we-
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this is 3 week old, a 3 week old wash and go, guys. Looking like it looked on day one. You guys see today, we wrote everything out. It's not hard. Nothing is crunchy. Because we didn't want the cast this time. So now you can just move it on day one. It shakes on day one, and all these curls are separated still. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I
Hmm.
wanted to stretch this tonight, instead of rolling under, you can just go ahead and do that again. I want to take like a nice big section because I like to work in big sections. That way, when we let it down in the morning, it looks like everything is still together. Not like we let down 8 different sections, because we didn't. And then we just go ahead, just you can just do like 3 different sections within there, and do like a nice loose braid, and that's just pulling. And then you can go ahead and focus if you want to on the roots when you're pulling, so you can just stretch those. And then I'm just braiding the braid very loose because you don't want to really manipulate the curl pattern within there that much at all, if that makes sense. And we're just gonna go ahead and braid that down. And when you're braiding it, you just want to smooth it down to the ends, and that's how you retain your length. in terms of stopping breakage, and it's how you stop the shrinkage too. So does that make sense?
Could you seal it again?
Yes. Hmm.
You could seal it again if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you can go ahead and seal it again. This is still pretty nourished, so we don't have to really do anything to it. Tomorrow we just take it down and shake, and it's back to normal. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do this like little part two the same way. See how you can just go ahead and take those curls apart. Is this the easiest you guys have ever been able to form a curl in your hair before?
It
Mm.
Yeah,
is. It is
definitely.
very easy.
Erica has it down.
The tip I showed you guys tonight about rubbing it should like fill in a lot of the gaps for everybody else too. Because a lot of people were saying, "Hey, I got my results on day one, but it didn't dry like I wanted it to," or they was expecting something else when it dried. Because I like my hair to dry with the new formula with the cast, because that cast is gonna be in there for 2 or 3 days, and when that cast breaks, them curls ain't going nowhere, just like Lisa's did today. So we just going ahead stretching it at the roots, and we pulling it. Oh, this is OG. Okay. Oh, you want to show them this side too? Okay, go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. So you go ahead and show them this side, then you can go ahead and yeah.
So
Okay.
this is the original. It's still a little damper than this
We
side.
went in a little bit deeper on the
Yeah.
original side,
So yeah.
Hmm.
but you guys see these curls. This side is right. Okay, so you can just go ahead and take that. So you see the curls, just like literally, you can pull them up, they fall. If you want to do a
Hmm.
different hairstyle, a ponytail or whatever, a bang, you can just literally just like part the curls, and then they'll just fall, and you can put up whatever you want to. So this is what you want when you have your curls in. It shouldn't just be like, oh, it looks kind of curly, but you get in here, it's like really an afro. So you want, because you want to encourage the nourishment and the growth, and this is how you do that. Okay. So any questions about this side? Are we still loving the new side? You can go ahead and bring this side back up, stretch it out, and show them. Are we still loving the new product side better than the original product side, or
I
where are
do.
we at?
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
like the new.
probably like it,
Mm-hmm.
It's
especially with her.
way less work,
It is.
way less product, way less drying time. It's just a lot more efficient.
I'll tell you, it just really changed the game with me when I have to go out real quick. That quick wash and go is with the new formula is really good. I love it.
And
One day
then
we'll
you
get there.
and then you
I,
put your
I
bonnet
like the
on
fact
too.
that the gray hair people. Yeah, I like the fact that it's white. It's white, so it blends in.
Yes,
So I wore a puff for like weeks because I went from the finger coil, whatever foolishness I had, to the puff, and I had to get braids because it's too cold in New York. I gotta wear hats. I
definitely.
had to braid down because I can't do it with an afro or a puff or washing. I just can't. It's too much. Too much time to fix my hair. I didn't want to be doing that, so I had to get braids for a minute.
Yeah, when you gave us the tips, was she?
Who's that, Judith?
Yeah.
It's
Want to give
Judith,
us?
yeah.
Tips about the hats and how you wear your hair.
Oh yeah, we have so yeah, you weren't here that week. We have
I know I've been working night shift. I realized why I missed
no,
so many Zoom. I've been
totally
working
fine.
at
But we
night.
but we got some I think we had showed you like some 10-minute or less hairstyles for like cold weather, especially. Like we showed you how to
Yes,
do
I've
like
been
the
using
hat.
mine.
Yes, the hats and the
Yes.
extensions.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, but for work though, I really can't do that. You feel me?
Yeah, okay, I understand. I
Yeah,
understand.
that's the only thing. I
Okay, so
saw somebody
we're ready
post
for
something.
bed tonight, guys. The hair is movable, it's stretched, it's moisturized, it's week 3. So we did a lot of the things that you would have did had you rewashed the hair and had to start over again. But you saved a lot of time, you saved a lot of product, you saved a lot of stress. Your curls already have curl memory, and then they're nice and stretched too. So
Mhm.
does this like resolve every issue that everybody is having? I just want to make sure that everybody understands this, because this is going to be the technique that we go into the roller set with, that we go into the twist out with, that we go into the blowout with. Does that make sense?
Right.
It does.
So I'm trying to flip the game. Typically, a wash and go is the most difficult hairstyle to do, but I'm trying to show you guys how to do it, because this is going to be incremental and doing all of the instrumental and incremental and doing all the other styles that we're going to go ahead and do, because this is going to be like the beginning of a lot of the styles, and making sure that everything is saturated. And then if you don't want the hair dry with the hold, you go ahead and rub that hold out. A lot of people did not know that either. They knew it about the original formula. You can rub out, the color and and that one doesn't have a cast. So it mostly is rubs out the color and it just, brings the oils out a little bit more too. But with this one, that forms the cast and that's the purpose of it. If you want to avoid that, or you're like, hey, this time I don't want to cast, I already did that on day one. I just want it to be soft and I just want to go on like this. You can just rub it on out and you're good to go. Okay. Is that
So
a game changer for every?
are these
No.
the same steps that you use? Okay, say like I have my wash and go
Mhm.
and I want to go in a bun. So I go through these same steps um to break the cast in order to get it up
You don't
into a
really
bun.
have to break the cast.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. If you have a cast and you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to break that cast to do a different style, is that what you're referencing? I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So if you're breaking a cast, you want to go ahead and just mist it with a little bit of water. That
Okay.
rehydrates the formula that's already there. If it's casted, that means it's casted with product. So the product is
Mm-hmm.
already there. And instead of like if you pull it or like to rub it out, you're rubbing it out. So we don't want to rub it out. We want to rehydrate it so we can keep it in there so we can go ahead and change the hairstyle. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
It does.
Okay. So you go ahead and just mist it a little bit, give it like 2 or 3 minutes. Then you go ahead and add, rub it out, add a little bit more, like it's like a butter or a oil or something. And then you go ahead and
Mhm.
get in there and you can go ahead and loosen it up and you can go ahead and change that whole hairstyle.
Okay. All right.
And just remember around the perimeter, if you want to not have your edges stand back up or do anything, like look right now at these edges, everything is still laying down. I can like literally rub and they're still there. That's
Mm-hmm.
how you want. So I don't rub out the product when I do the edges because we want the edges like the part that you want to cast and stay. You want to not rub out the hole because I want the hole around those because that's the difficult area. So
Okay.
everything else we don't want to dry stiff. If it was day one, I'm doing everything without rubbing because I need those curls to form just like you
Mm-hmm.
would with the roller set. You want that pattern to form so your hair can get used to it. So and then you can go ahead and keep it stretched. Just do a little braid at the end. All of the individual curls are still there. Like when we part it, they're all there. You turn to the side, everything is there. So this is just a really easy way for you to maintain the curl. And this is week 3. Like I said, you can do this for like 6, 8 weeks if you wanted to,
Okay.
without having to rewash. Okay. Any questions? Anybody learn anything tonight?
I have a question.
Sure.
So I have the e-bun, so it's hard. So I want to redo, but keep the e-bun. I don't have to just rub the product in my hand and put it on my hair to feel the coolness at the scalp so that it won't be quite as hard when it dries the next time. Is that correct?
So your goal is to just keep the same hairstyle?
Yes.
Yeah, you can go ahead and rub it on your scalp, or you can go ahead and just apply a little bit to the scalp area, and then on the perimeter part, you want to rub that part because that's the part that's not going to be like you're gonna use it in 2 ways. You want to like really get it to the scalp. When you rub it, it turns to like a cream, more so the consistency of the original formula. So it doesn't as easily get to the scalp as it does as a gel. So the part that you're trying to get to the scalp, I would just rub that on regularly, and then
Okay.
when you're starting the hair over that, I'll go ahead and seal it. And when you do your sealing and everything, you can seal it by rubbing it in, and then it'll blend in, and it won't have as much of the hole at all.
Thank you.
Yep, you're very welcome. And you can play with it. You know what I'm saying? It's only one product. You don't have any buildup. So you're like, oh, I think I used too much. It's shit. It's not agreeing with the other. Like you don't have to do any of that. If you use too much, just go ahead, wait a day or two, leaving it, or you can just shingle it off, or whatever. But it's all there. You're not gonna have any flaking or anything. And I love this because this is really protecting your ends. So if you're looking for growth, this is how you get them. And at nighttime, when you do this, you can even seal these ends again if you need to, and just pull them. And I'm telling you guys, in like a week or two, you're gonna notice the difference. It's gonna keep getting longer and longer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Did anybody learn anything tonight? We good?
Yes,
Sure
definitely.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I sure
Okay.
did.
Hmm.
Great, great, great. Okay, who has a okay, Miss Washington?
Emery, this is Leisha. I kind of
Hey.
have a question about the last question. So
Okay.
when she was talking about having the bun, because I do that a lot, and I think this is part of the question that I had sent you last week. So if I'm doing my brush massage or my derma roller, and I still feel like it's kind of hard or it has a cast, I kind of missed it first, and
Hmm.
then I do the massage brush, and then I do the derma roller, and then I go back in with the product. So is that correct?
I would probably want to do it dry first because when you do it on, so when you do it dry, it does a couple different things. It kind of like just gets in there into the scalp area. It's just like if you are like gluing to like if you're using like super glue to like glue to two sides together. One like you want to
Hmm.
kind of like sand one side. Like it'll glue better if it's like a little rougher than if it's smooth. That makes sense. So when you're applying, so when you're doing like you're rubbing everything on your scalp, it kind of like rubs everything off. It kind of gives it a fresh start, and then you're starting over again when you add the product. If that makes sense. So in my opinion, I'll probably try to do it on like the dry hair. If you're missing it, it shouldn't make too big of a difference. When I say wet hair, I mean like saturating it with the product and then going back in. If that makes sense.
Right. I think my concern was I'm not talking wet, but like if I'm doing the massaging brush, I'm doing the derma roller, and it has that cast on it, it's kind of hard. I'm kind of concerned about breakage. So that's
Okay.
why I was asking, do I miss it first, or is it okay to just go ahead and brush and derma roll it even if it has the cast on it?
If it has the cast on it, that's usually fine. I usually do my hair under the cast. Like I just like, okay, so if you're doing your hair and you're doing like the routine really really well the first time, you don't have to like everything is where it's supposed to be already. So it's a lot easier than taking it down, doing everything again. Just go ahead and put a little formula up top and put it on the scalp and just leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, because everything's already where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing everything to put it right back where it is right now, if that makes sense. You already did the hard work before you put it in the bond.
Okay.
Does that make sense or no?
It does, but my thing is if it's kind of hard or crunchy to me and I'm trying to do the derma roller, I'm not sure if it's
Just go
working.
ahead and rub it and put a little bit more on there and turn it into a butter, and then it'll soften up, and you'll still have the product on there in abundance, and you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. So yeah, I
Yep.
wasn't talking like completely wetting it, but what I was doing was kind of misting it because I was like, okay, it feels hard to me. So I wasn't really sure if I should go ahead and derma roll it if it was hard or if I needed to mist it. But that makes sense. Just put some more product on.
Yeah, it just kind of depends on like if it's hard, I'm going over it, that's fine. If it's hard and it's like running into it and it's like pulling or something, then I'm gonna go ahead and soften that up and do it. So it just kind of depends, you know.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
that's the same kind of question I had because it when it's hard, when it's casted, I can't really feel the derma roller touching my scalp.
Um, if you do everything the first time well, everything is where it's supposed to be. You don't have to derma roll as much. Like I said, all you have to if everything's where it's supposed to be and you did it really, really well, just go ahead, put a little bit formula on your finger and go in there and rub it. Make sure it's on the scalp and put and keep everything together. But everything's already where it's supposed to be. So
So don't worry about derma rolling that.
yeah, I wouldn't work like
Okay.
once or twice a week is like, it's pretty good. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. If anything, if you want to do anything every day, put a little bit of formula on your finger and rub it on there, and then and make sure you keep it moisturized, and you're gonna start to feel the growth in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because we already did the hard. Yeah, we want to work smarter, not harder. We already put everything where it's supposed to be. So everything is good. So now we just want to make sure that we're keeping it hydrated in the
Okay. Okay. Got you.
process.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Yeah. 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 Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Are we learning or are we just like, okay?
No, we're learning. I want to hit you up on me too because I bought the derma roller and the scalp thing for my aunt who has,
Okay.
severe hair loss. So whenever I can make it over there, I'll hit you up and let me
Yeah,
know and
and
keep
then we
me.
also have the videos 1 through 4 from last time where we did all the derma roll and everything on Lisa's hair. We did like the 45-day wash and go. We have all those there too. So if you guys want to see everything from the beginning to the end already, we can do
Okay.
that. We just showed you guys a couple of additional techniques, but I
What's
don't
the
mind
title of
having
that? I'm sorry. What's the title of that?
it's on the tutorials page at the very top. It's Lisa's 4-part 30-day wash and go.
Okay. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep, no problem at all. So, okay, so are we good? Everybody happy? Everybody got
Yes.
something that they can try this week?
It's a lot.
Yes.
That rubbing it in with the new formula, I never saw you
Uh,
do that before. I was like, oh, what's he doing? What's that?
Yeah.
okay, no worries. I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. I, hey, I got a couple tricks still.
Mhm.
You're also crazy. Okay, I love you guys. If you don't have anything else, I'll go ahead and let Erica take us through there.
Yeah.
And then we'll see everybody next week. And hopefully everybody. So if you guys are going to the holiday parties, you don't have to start over and get a hard cast. You want to keep it soft. Just want to refresh it. You can have the same look on day one. Okay. So we are
Okay.
all good. Okay. All right. Thank you, Erica.
All right. Everybody, please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you once again for allowing us to see this beautiful day that you have made. I thank you for allowing to see Emery and everybody else here on Zoom. Lord God, I ask that you touch and be with them, keep and protect them throughout the rest of this week, Lord God. I ask that you keep and be with Emery and his family, Lord God. I thank you so much for the wonderful heart that he has, the giving heart that he has, Father God. Ask you that you forgive us for our sins, keep and protect us, Father God. And we ask all this in your wonderful name, Jesus. Amen.
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 Okay, everybody. Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a
Anybody
great
need anything, just
week.
let me know. But I'm looking forward to seeing these elongated swing and wash and goes. No more shrinkage, guys.
Bye.
Okay. All right,
Bye.
love
Okay.
y'all. I'll see you guys
Love
next
Yeah.
Thursday.
you.
All
Next Thursday, we're
right.
doing our
Love
roller
you.
set for reals, guys.
Next week is roller
Definitely.
set.
Yes, we're gonna do it this week, but we want to make sure everybody has soft hair going into the roller set that
Okay.
so they can know how to do everything correctly. And everybody had spots growing in going into the roller set, and everybody had elongation going into the roller set.
All
Okay.
right.
All
Thank
right, I'll see you guys
Yeah.
next week.
All
All
right.
right.
All right,
Bye.
have a
Bye,
good one.
family.
Goodbye.
Bye.